All right, now, relax that tendon, and there you go. So there's many factors, and every kid's gonna be different, so again, that's gonna be your challenge. Okay, sit on the floor for a second. All right, now, your peroneal tendon. I need to put a picture in that too in the book. All right, so, your fifth metatarsal bone, where it ends, okay? So there's the two tendons. One comes off from the bottom base of the foot and comes up through here. The second one starts at the bottom base of the fifth metatarsal. So they both come in and they have like these round things that keep them together. Like if you ever had two wires and maybe you'll take them so they don't split every so often. So they have these things called sheaths, okay? So they run through this so that like when you're walking that they move. And sometimes this will happen too, that the lubrication will go away and then that causes aggravation and it causes inflammation. All right, so anyway, they come up once they hook. That one again comes from here, this one comes here. They both come here and then they come and they attach on the side here. Does that make sense? Then it becomes the muscle that comes up and attaches to the fibular head right here. So that's what I want you to think. So now what I want you to do is get in front of me and we're gonna do just a parallel first but completely closed.
Stand up.
Yes, ma'am. And I'm gonna put you to hold on to that so I don't knock you over. All right, but do this, face them, because I'm gonna do it from the back. Yep, okay.
Well, you can't see.
Yeah, just hold on from the side maybe. Okay, so put that completely together. All right, now, so when she comes up, what I need her to do is not just push to activate it to keep the heels together. Does that make sense? I want her to push and pull and lift. Does that make sense? Because if they just push, now you're gonna get an overcorrection where now they're rolling in a bit, okay? So as she comes up, you're coming here, and then you're coming there to lift. Does that make sense? This will actually, because yes, you still wanna do that if you've got kids on point, that you wanna add that because that'll help the foot from sinking into the point shift.
Yeah.
Because yes, you have to pull that tibial tendon. So again, you've gotta have that opposition. Yes, exactly. So, see when you do that, see how that stays? Now deactivate that, and yes, exactly, you see what should just happen? So now go back, let's do this. Go back into ballet first. Okay, how many of you correct the kids when they do tendu devant and they're coming back into first or fifth, but let's say first, okay? Because this is gonna be more younger kids, I mean older kids, yeah. All right, what do we tell them to do? Present the heel forward, right?
Bring the toe back.
Okay, pinky toe back. Yes, exactly. But you say present your heel forward?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, but let me tell you what happens though. This is forward to them. So now they're gonna pull that out. So that'll get there. But now when they come back, there's nothing that was holding this to keep that forward. Does that make sense? So even if you say keep it forward, it needs to be sustained with something that's pushing it forward still. Am I making sense? So watch this, okay? So I want them to push this back, and yes, pinky toes. Right away, get the little kids to do pinky toes, okay? Also, I want you to go back home. Who teaches ballet here? I want you to go back home, give a bar without those ballet shoes on. Make sure they have the convertible tights, okay? You don't really know what their feet are doing. And then they start, and I'm telling you, they all take the last two toes and they curve it in. And then that's why, especially your kids that have all that flexibility and they're flexible in the joint, they sickle their feet. But it's because the last two toes, those last two toes should not be coming in. It all should be going out, and then it lengthens to fold that way. But because I travel across the country and I'm working, and I've worked even with, I've given private to some of the dancers in ABT, and I took their shoes off and they're doing it. Does that make sense? Okay, so what I do with the little kids, and I mean I do with the older kids too, I go back into their hands. We have more coordination in their hands. And I make them do this, and I make them take the pinky finger, lift it up, and then take it out. Okay, so everybody do that. Lift it up, and then take it out a bit. Now, relax it. Did you feel the activation on the outside of the hand? Exactly. You want to teach that because these kids don't know how to activate the outside of the foot. They're only doing like one side. This way, as young children, they're learning how to do that, okay? Then I just make them lift up, go. Now let your fingers lengthen up and follow and fan out, which yes, then takes it, they'll start like a natural wing. But of course, we have, because a lot of kids just wing it and that, wait a minute, you didn't stretch your foot. You didn't stretch. Don't say point your toes, because that's an end result. It's the whole foot. And actually, it should start, oh my God, I'm never gonna get to my other stuff, oh my gosh. I know, I get so much, I could keep y'all for 40 hours. Okay, this is something that took me years to figure out too, okay? Because I'm, again, working with kids that had burnt biscuits. You know what a burnt biscuit? It's like, oh, because I kind of have that now, it's not moving at all. Okay, so someone would say, especially with African American feet, okay? Do you have any kids and they don't move and they say, oh, and it is their heritage, they usually come that way. But my son Danny, he's interracial, and his feet were burnt biscuits. And we did exercises all the time, we worked it, his feet got better, he got a full scholarship at the Care Off, he was an ABT. So no, it can change, but they have to work it, okay? So, what determines, if you've got kids that have a lot of flexibility, a lot of times they have pretty feet. And it's because of the flexibility underneath of the metatarsals. Does that make sense? Okay, so last year we did the penny trick and the towel thing, right? Okay, make sure that you're doing that with the kids, but make sure that they know the scrunching is not how they would do that. If you will look at your hands and how you can fold them way down, like under here, right? You can fold them way down. I'm left-handed. I can fold my left hand more than my right because I grab and do that. As soon as babies are born, that's the first thing that they use. They're grabbing with their hands. That's why they can fold down. Well, if they didn't have hands and they had to use their feet would, be gorgeous. Does that make sense? That's why you have to work that. Sit on the floor for me real quick.
Facing
and then I'm
you?
gonna, what's that?
Facing you?
Yes, ma'am. Yep. Okay, so let me show you this. I don't know if y'all know this. If you feel on your foot, okay, there is this little hole space, like in your ankle right here. You see this? See where I got my thumb? Okay, this determines a lot. This determines the natural foot, okay? When you go and stretch your foot, okay, the heel bone comes this way, but this part drives into here. Does that make sense? So see how she's got a space, okay? Now, I've worked with kids that I almost lose my whole thumb, my fingernail, into that space. That means they can take that joint more. Does that make sense? They don't have to have the flexibility. What's that?
Is that what you want or don't?
Yes, no, you want that. You want them, I mean, that's naturally, without them thinking that actually happens, okay? Now, how I explain this to kids, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm coming in about this Achilles, okay? All right, I explain to them that this is actually a garage in their house. This is their house, okay? And if you have a big space, a huge space, I'm losing my fingernail, you have like a 4-car garage, okay? Some people have a 3-car garage, a 2-car garage, a 1-car. Some people don't even have a garage. Those are the people with biscuits. Got it? Now, at home, I have a 2-car garage, but I can't even drive my van up into it because I've got so much crap in my garage. Does that make sense? All right, so now here's where I'm gonna go to this point. Actually, sit on this side of me. I'm sorry I'm using you so much. You asked a question.
It's okay.
Okay, so here's the next thing. When your kids are trying to really stretch their feet, do they complain about the pressure back here? Yes. And if they start growing and the Achilles tendonitis, it's too painful for them. Okay, so your Achilles attaches at the baseline here, the heel, okay? And then it attaches at the baseline of the calf. Now, when we just tell them to point their toes, a lot of times you're gonna get this. Okay, that's why you don't really wanna say that anymore, okay? So, what you want to happen, all right, this is what happens. If I'm just pushing this down, do you see what's happening? This is all, yes, it's already attached, but this is gonna start crunching for them. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm gonna pull this up just a little bit because I'm gonna do what I call echo effect. I will do that. for instance, like if I want them to activate their IT band, I will either rub it down this way or I'll pound on it and I'll say, and make sure that you tell them you're not hitting them so you don't get the call, why did you hit Sally today? Because that's the generation we live in. Okay, but I'll say, okay, do you feel the echo? Do you feel my echo? And a lot of times they'll activate, or I'll pet it, I'll talk to it, I'll do something, and it'll usually start moving the way I want it to move. Okay, so what I want to happen now, I want you, and you want to, that's where your stretching of the foot should actually start happening. Quickly, you want to start pulling the Achilles up. Does that make sense? Because a lot of people say, oh, think about just bringing the heel up. Well, that will crunch you there. Do you feel the difference when you think that? All right, so this is what I do. I come here and I start massaging their Achilles up through here, like this. Now, that's where I want you to start. So we're gonna start stretching your foot, pull this up, pull this, start stretching your foot, bring this down. Pull this up, pull this up, pull this up, pull this up, pull this up. Yes, do you feel the difference in that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now you don't get the crunching. But here's the other thing. Because I pulled this up first, it took the tissue here, moved it out of the way. I just cleaned my garage out, so this can now get in there. Does that make sense what I just said? I know it's a little crazy, but that way you can get there to utilize that foot more. So once we have that, okay, now working this by picking up pennies, picking up a towel, again, you gotta make sure that they know it's like doming. But why, the other thing that I make my kids do, again with the partner thing, like once they pick up, I make them pull and do more resistance. Does that make sense? So that'll get more flexible here, like your hand did, and that's what makes that better. So the other thing is pulling the pinky to, can I take this off?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what I do, okay? So I make them go, and this, like again, will make their metatarsal stronger. They'll be able to balance better. They'll be able to jump higher. They'll be able to push off the feet if they're working through their feet and their choreography to travel out more for themselves. So I'm gonna have her remove her Achilles up. So do that again. Go to a Barbie foot. Take your pinky toe out. Way out, way out, way out. Just stay right there. Pinky toe out more. Touch my finger over here. All right, I'm gonna say, that's okay, but watch what I'm gonna do to her now. Okay, so, your leg. Your IT band is right here. I want you to lengthen your IT band out and lengthen your leg out. Do that for me. You feel that? All right, that's your inner thigh. Now pull it out even more so and push it, your leg over here. You feel that? Okay, come back here. This is now that leg, okay? This is your hip. That is your IT band. That is your inner thigh. So what I want you to do is you're gonna use this and this to lengthen the toe out, and then you're gonna push it this way as you're lengthening out. Does that make sense? All right, now come touch my finger. Do that. Yes! Now move it, move it more, move it more. Yeah, I want you to keep your foot here. Now go, move it more. Yes! It moved a little bit, yes! Yes! Hey! Sorry, I get excited about it. No, but you see, I just changed the way you thought of something else, and because it wasn't moving.
No.
No, but now if you practice that, you'll get that toe way out. You're gonna get more activation here, and now all of these will start folding. Does that make sense? So that's what you want with that foot again. So watch this. So the exercise, again, to make that stronger and to make this happen, remove your Achilles up, go through the Barbie foot, take your pinky toe out. See, now you're doing it even more. Now hold that for 5 seconds. Ready? Even more. Get that pinky toe to me. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. Relax. I make them do 8 reps. Did you not feel that everywhere?
I did, but my knee bent. Is that okay?
Yeah, I don't care about that.
Okay.
I don't care. You can bend it. You can do it this way and do it. I don't care about that.
Okay.
But you feel the activation. And this is where the foot should start to stretch. It's here and here. That's the opposition of that. That's what's gonna make that foot better, okay? So I make them do 8 reps of just that. Now, I'm gonna do anywhere from 4 to 6 to 8 more, okay? Depending, because it makes them tired, okay? So you're gonna start again, and let's say that we did 8, now this is number 9. So do it again. Remove your Achilles up, get to a Barbie foot, pinky toe out, way out over here. Way out over here, yeah. Hold that, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, get me, touch me. Yes?
I'm still thinking about my knee so bad. I don't know why. I'm sorry.
Oh, about bending it?
Yeah, about because yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, so if you want to straighten it that way, then do it that way. Would that be better for you?
No.
No?
I just need to know that it's okay.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Because you can also do it this way. Like, you can't see what I'm doing. Okay. So you can do it this way so that you can go Achilles up, go here, there. And actually, this is not so bad because I didn't get into pushing that forward. I'm going to go back on that tendu. So anyway, so yeah, you can do it. You can do it that way. Just keep it bent. Yeah. All right, ready? So go again. Achilles up. Yep. Barbie foot. Try to touch my finger. Yep. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,004.